Hi, I'm Tamara. Welcome to Anything is Possible. I live at Lake Chapala in Jalisco, Mexico, and I have been just frantic the last couple of weeks getting everything finished with the new house that I'm moving into and packing and several other things happening, which I'll go into, but you'll excuse me, I'm at the new house and I haven't put any makeup on. I just hit the ground running this morning. I had a couple of guys coming over to clean my Tanako, which is a tank that's up on the roof, and it's a water storage tank. A lot of houses, they have either a Tanako, which is on the roof, or an aljibe, which is in the ground, and my old place had an aljibe, but this place has a Tanako, and I thought, well, before I move in, maybe it'd be a good idea to get that scrubbed out and cleaned. And so I had a couple of guys come, and they got up there and inspect, and I showed up just about as they were getting started, and oh my gosh, they said it looked like that tank had not been cleaned for 10 years. It was just absolutely filthy, and there was mud, a whole layer of mud on the bottom of the tank, and they had to take buckets and actually scoop the mud out and dump it, and then scrub the whole tank out with a brush and rinse the tank out, and then now it's refilling. And I was thinking, actually, I might move in today because, I've got enough of the basics over here. I'm probably about 85–90% moved. Everything else is just kind of, I've got some tools and the photographs off the walls, pictures and that sort of thing, and my clothes and bathroom toiletries. But those, the toiletries and clothes can be moved over very quickly in one load. And yesterday I had a guy with a truck come, loaded up the truck with my big heavy stuff that I can't move myself, and all my gigantic plants and planters that are just way too heavy for me. So right now I'm at the new place, and I'm sitting here. I had scheduled online for the fiber optic guys to come and hook my Wi-Fi up, and they were supposed to come between 10 and 2 today, but it's kind of weird because I never got any kind of confirmation email or anything from them. So I'm here and getting things kind of set up and organized as long as I'm here, but I normally wouldn't spend 4 hours just waiting. I had the walls in the garden painted, and I have a garden helper who does work for other people, and somebody is relandscaping, and he's digging up all kinds of plants from their yard that they don't want anymore, and so he thinks of me, and so he's making a little money selling me some secondhand plants from other people's garden. And so I got a very good sized palm tree already right in the middle of the yard they planted for me. The bougainvillea is coming back beautifully and starting to bloom again. And so I picked some colors and had them paint the garden walls. And so other than that, I'm getting moved in. And in the midst of all that, you know, as I've mentioned in previous videos, this is really hot, dry season. And usually about mid-June the rains start, but I have checked my WeatherBug app that I use, and 10 days out, not showing any rain, even overcast. But in another week or so, it is going to supposedly start cooling down into the 80s rather than being in the 90s. I think we're all pretty much done with this really hot weather in the middle of the day. I tend to just schedule my day. I get up usually 6:30 in the morning, and it's beautiful and cool, and I walk Wookie, my little dog, and do a workout, and then get whatever I need to do that's strenuous done. And by 10 or 11 in the morning, it's getting pretty darn hot. So I was over here working one day last week, and all of a sudden I get a message from a friend of mine that there's a fire, and there has been quite a number of fires. And the fire was actually the second day in a row threatening a dog shelter near here called the Ranch. And the first day, they really didn't have time to prepare at all, but they managed to get enough volunteers to come and get the dogs evacuated. And the second day, I guess they had gotten together a little bit better notification of other people that could help. And so she told me that they needed help right away. The fire was like right there. And so I was ready to leave anyway, so we drove out there. She took her car and I took mine, and we both have Honda Elements. And I ended up grabbing this dog. They said if, you know, they were happy to let people take dogs to foster. So I grabbed this one, and it was just ironic. The dog's name was Tammy, and she's just the sweetest dog. And so she stayed with me 2.5, 3 days before. What happened at the ranch was their water actually got totally messed up. I guess the water lines got broken or damaged with the fire or something. And so they had to get water before they could take the animals back again. So I was able to keep this one dog, and she was just absolutely delightful. And I took Tammy back, and I made a video of her, and I linked to that below, so you can watch Tammy if you have any interest at all, and we can work something out in terms of trying to find a way to get Tammy to another location if you're someplace else watching this, because she's just a really delightful, sweet dog, and not destructive, and not a barker, and just sweet and affectionate, and really just an ideal dog, really, just really sweet temperament. Anyway, so, you know, the fire luckily did not sweep through that rescue, but it was right across the road, and I saw pictures of it burning. It could easily have jumped the road, and that rescue is just surrounded by trees and grass, and they don't clean the grounds up, and there's eucalyptus trees which are just full of flammable oils, and the leaves and stuff on the ground, so it would have gone up in flames in a flash. So you know, the good thing about wildfires here, if you can say there's anything good about wildfires, is it's not like these horrible fires in Canada that are going on right now. It's mostly shrubs, scrubby, dry grasslands. There are some trees, but it's not thickly wooded, and so it burns through, and it burns very hot and very fast, and when winds come up, it travels extremely fast. So, but the bomberos here are right on top of it, and they just swoop in and they get those fires put out pretty quickly. There have been ones burning across the lake recently, and the smoke last night was pretty thick on this side of the lake because the wind was blowing this way. But still, you know, I have to say doesn't even come close to comparing the weeks of wildfires that we used to have in southern Oregon, where it was extremely steep terrain, impossible to get to, heavily wooded, and the smoke would just go on and on for weeks. Here it's usually, you know, a couple of hours maybe we have some smoke. But anyway, so I'm just been doing a lot of things in terms of getting stuff moved over here to the new place, and it's kind of fun when you're moving. It's like you have to figure out logistically, you know, first you start moving the things that you can live without at the old place and just get them over here, over to the new place. And luckily it's only like 5-10 minute drive from my old place, so it's really easy just to pack the car and make a trip over when it's not the hot part of the day. So then you have the stuff at your old place that is stuff that you really need to have to live, and then all of a sudden you just have to kind of make the leap, you know, and pack that stuff up and move. And I know my animals are, you know, at least 2 of them that have done moves before, they see what's going on, and I'm sure they know that we're going to be taking off here soon. My little new kitty, Montekia, that I adopted, who was a street cat where I live now, is kind of not clued in as to what's going on. Mom's just packing stuff up, you know, for some odd reason. There's not much rhyme or reason to why humans do things according to a cat, I'm sure, but my other animals are like, oh, something big in the wind, and I keep explaining to Wookie that he's been over here and he knows this house, so it's not going to be a big deal for him. But my other kitty, it's going to be a one-step process. It's like, okay, this is the day we're actually going to move the animals over for good, and the litter boxes and all that. So this is kind of a celebration video. I reached 1,000 subscribers, and I really want to say thank you to all of you who subscribe. I thank you, and you know, there's something that kind of triggers at 1,000 subscribers with YouTube. All of a sudden, you can turn on all kinds of things that happen, and one of those things is that and I haven't done it yet because I wanted to see what you guys think, but they start paying you. And they start putting ads on. And I don't know whether, I'm assuming I don't have ads yet. You can tell me. I actually pay for YouTube because I watch it all the time. And it's not very expensive to just pay monthly. And then you don't have to be dealing with watching ads at all. But before I did that, I always found that the ads were really annoying. But that's how the creators get paid. If you actually pay for YouTube, the creators get paid by YouTube, and you don't have to watch the ads. So I guess I'm just putting it out there. I don't really care about getting paid to do this. I mean, I do it because I think it's helpful, and you guys seem to indicate that it is. So if you think I should get paid, I'll turn it on, and I don't think it's going to be very much. But, you know, I had my career, and I'm not rich, but I do think that, you know, I just put it out for free and hope you get some benefit from it. But anyway, I wouldn't mind getting paid. There's a good chance that I'll probably just donate the money to local shelters. There's a lot of orphanages and things for abused kids, and of course the animal shelters here need money all the time. There's just a lot of really good causes. If you hear that banging in the background, this is in San Antonio, Tlayacapan, and this 2 weeks is the celebrations of the Saint of San Antonio, and that's a Coetti, and they go off night and day. And basically, I guess it's to try and get people to come to the church and celebrate. And they have bands in the square at night and food and all this stuff. And I've been too busy moving and just exhausted at the end of the day. But apparently the partying goes on until about 2 a.m. And, you know, a lot of people that move here find it incredibly annoying. And I just sort of like... you know, it's part of Mexico. If you live near a church, you're going to hear noise. So anyway, so that's another thing. That at the 1,000 subscribers, you can turn on fundraising, but it has to be a 501c3, which is a United States thing. So, you know, any of the things here that would benefit from fundraising, they're not 501c3s, they're Mexican charities, and so I can't fundraise through YouTube for that, so that's kind of pointless too. I'm just kind of thinking I'm not going to bother, although it probably means that YouTube's not going to push my channel very much if I don't turn all that on, but you know, so what? I don't know. Anyway, you know, another thing I'm celebrating is that I haven't looked up the date, but it's really close to being 1 year from the day that I actually packed up and started driving down from Oregon down to Mexico with my 2 cats and my dog. And so I'm celebrating basically 1 year of taking the big step of moving to Mexico and wrapping up my life in Oregon. And I'm just like, it's kind of fun to think that here I am moving into another new place. I've gotten to the point where Mexico feels normal to me. There's not a lot of surprises. And I love the people. I love the generosity of the people here. I love the fact that there aren't these big political battles going on here. You know, I mean, there are little political battles going on, but it's like people don't hate each other because of politics. I mean, it's really noisy. In the United States, there's a lot of animosity and huge divides because of politics. And I have to say, it's not like that here. Everybody feels like, you know, the Mexicans feel like they take care of each other and their family. But by and large, I've just felt so much warmth. And I'm sure as I get to know Spanish better, I'll be able to be more included. But quite honestly, I'm just like, every day I like it more and more, and I just love being here. And that's why I put so much work into this new place, because I feel like I'm going to stay here. I have no desire to move back to the United States. And I know there's a lot of people that just kind of get Mexico fatigue, I guess you say, because there is inconveniences that you have to cope with, and it's a different way of living. But quite honestly, the benefits outweigh the difficulties, and I'm just more than happy to be here and to continue living here. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and not sure when I'll get around to posting again, but once we're in here, I'll probably post something showing our life here now, but it's really close. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.